Biden's sinking approval rating at 41% gives Republicans early advantage in 2022 midterms. And basically, the Republican Party has the biggest advantage lead since in 40 years, 10 percentage points. So Republicans are at 51%, at basically 51 percent of registered voters say they'll support Republican candidate. 41% said the Democrats. And basically, you got Joe Biden to blame because majority of the voters say that the Democrats are out of touch with concerns of most Americans. I mean, it's not surprising why. Joe Biden doesn't even know where he is. I mean, you see him on TV, he probably doesn't even know what he's talking about. And then on top of that, you see his energy secretary laughing about high gas prices or something. I mean, it was just disgusting to watch. I mean, as a swing voter, with energy, with the price of gas and all these energy bills going up, I mean, I currently live in the state of Florida, and gas down here, I pay $3.80, so it's close to $4. But I spend like over $100 a week because I had to travel a lot for work. And some people, they don't have the luxury of working from home. And come wintertime, and like I said, like I'm looking at this website, which is in Chicago, it's 34 degrees. What is your heating bill going to look like every month? I mean, I don't want to know. And look at this, 51%, 41%. So if you can add also some of the gerrymandered maps, how much people despise the Democrats, and I expect this lead to expand next year because Joe Biden, let's face it, he's been in politics for 50 years, and the nation's just been worse off. Every policy he's passed, I mean, all he cared about was the neoliberal corporate establishment, and guess what? A lot of some of the blue collar workers that support the Democrats, they're voting for the GOP. In fact, I said that the Democrats have been, the blue collar voters have effectively left the Democratic Party. If you had seen what's happened in Virginia, I mean, Glenn Youngkin, he overperformed Trump in the rural areas by margins which I never thought could happen. I mean, Southwest Virginia, 87%. Oh, for Glenn Youngkin? Wow. I mean, I'm never going to forget that because I remember we're looking at some results when Doug Wilder, the first African-American governor of Virginia, when he won Southwest Virginia. So you can't blame racism there. I'm sure in the 1980s, yeah, race relations were a little bit more different back then than they were now. But like I said, but this 51% GOP, 41% Republican, you know what this means? This means forget about losing the House. They're going to lose the Senate as well. I mean, I don't see them how they hold the Senate at all. Now, let's talk about the Senate. Now, I have the Wikipedia page, and okay, well, let me get to the Senate part. I apologize for that. Senate, U.S. Senate. So basically, as you can see right here, some of the states, like, my predictions is this, like they're saying Arizona's toss-up. Anything that says toss-up, we can put that as Republican. Mark Kelly, I'm sorry, you're not going to win. Ralph Warnock, yeah. With Herschel Walker, he's actually running a pretty decent campaign. Not going to win. Oh, Nevada, toss-up. Yeah, I can foresee I can see Republican losing, so that's 3. Democrats losing that, so that's 3. New Hampshire, Maggie Hassan. Okay, she voted against the $15 minimum wage, so I don't know who's going to be thrilled to vote for her. 4. Pennsylvania. Okay, I have a feeling Republicans are going to keep that. So basically, I foresee. So basically, you're talking about a minimum of 4 seats that the Democrats are going to lose. So it'll be 54-46. Yeah, well, and they're not going to beat Ron Johnson, and they're not going to hold Pennsylvania. I mean, especially if Democrats nominate Conor Lamb. I mean, that guy's boring. I mean, he has no charisma, personality. He looked like he came from that school of a Democrat establishment hacks. No offense. Um, that's what he sounds like. I mean, well, when I just see him on TV, he's just very stale. And I said, like, and getting back to topic, basically, I didn't say Colorado could be in play as well in my previous video because, like I said, Michael Bennett, he only got 50%, 50% of the vote in the last election in 2016, and this was against an underfunded candidate. And with Eli Bremer, he could be the next Herschel Walker, and he hails from Colorado Springs, and the Denver area will probably like the Denver area, metropolitan area, is where the election's going to be decided. Because what you guys got to understand now is that the political realignment has shifted drastically. Like some of the blue collar workers that used to support the Democrats, even they were part of unions, they're now shifted towards the Republican Party. So that's why you see the Democrats losing states like Ohio by 8 points in 2 consecutive presidential elections, and they're hemorrhaging voters in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, what's the other state, Michigan as well. So you can see that happening. So yeah, so the minimum that the but like I said, the Democrats could lose more seats in the Senate as well. They, like I said, they're probably going to hold 46 seats. That's the minimum. But Republicans, they're going to get 54 with this at least. But anything can happen. If there's one thing Democrats know how to do is they know how to lose a lot more than they're experts at losing. Let's put it that way. So now going back to here, 222. So let's face it. Next year we're going to call him House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. And now people are saying that he might just get like 230 seats and that kind of stuff. Well, if you look at, yes, 213. I think that the Republican Party is going to win 270 seats at least. No, actually, I'll make that even further. 285 seats. And it may be, so that you're talking about 70 seats at least. And it may sound a bit outlandish, but hear me out. Why? Because, first of all, gerrymandering. Most of the state legislatures are Republican control. So they are going to favor the So basically, the Republicans, they're going to create districts that favor their own party. That's a given fact. Second of all, a lot of these Democrats are retiring, and they represent swing districts like Arizona 2, Florida 13, Illinois 17, and Ohio 13, Pennsylvania 17, and Wisconsin 3. Those things are going to go Republican, and a lot more could, because another thing is that in California especially, basically with all the problems they're having, California, like some of the Democrats, they wanted in seats which were held by Republicans for decades. So that's a state to look out for, where Republicans may regain some of the seats, especially in Orange County, which has historically been a Republican stronghold. In fact, it was kind of like a little dot of red in a sea of blue. So, and another thing you gotta look at is some of the new seats which are being created. A lot of these new seats are creating in red states, like in Texas, Montana, Florida, even North Carolina. Now, what's interesting about North Carolina is that the governor cannot veto maps. So the legislature, which is Republican, gets to approve, and whatever map they approve is not the new map that the representative has to run in. And look at where, and if you look at seats to be eliminated, California, Illinois, New York, Pennsylvania, yeah, I mean, most of them are blue states, so you can see they're hemorrhaging it. Now, we're going to have some pretty unexpected battlegrounds too. Like people say, yeah, you're going to pick up seats in just the states, the toss-up states. Basically, where I think it will be decided is in the northeastern states. Basically, states like in New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, even Connecticut. Now, the reason being is you look at this, D like Connecticut, D plus two. I mean, those are going to be some really tight margins right there. So if they can play, and like I say, it's Connecticut's, especially the southern part of the state, that's mostly suburban. I mean, it's a very high in suburban area, home of Greenwich and some hedge funds or investment banking companies. I mean, I don't, it's been a while since I traveled there, so I don't have a clear picture. But where I'm from in New Jersey, now you can see that some of the Democrats are holding the Republican seats. So guys like Andy Kim, and Josh Gottheimer, yeah, they're gone. I mean, there's no way they're going to hold, especially Mickey Sherrill, because she represents Morris County. Now, Morris County, they went Democrat for the first time since 1964. But considering that how President well, whatever you like to call him, Joe Biden, his approval rating, there's no way he is going to last. I mean, there's no way she's going to hold on to this seat. I mean, I don't see how that's even possible. With a 41% approval rating and majority of people supporting the Republican Party by 10 percentage points, this is not going to be a tsunami. I mean, tsunami is an understatement. I mean, this is going to be this is going to be like this is going to be a complete slaughterhouse. I mean, that's how I view it as. I mean, I can see them winning. I can see Kevin McCarthy winning 70 seats. And let's face it, Joe Biden's approval rating is not going to rebound. He has no idea what he's doing. His vice president's a complete idiot. I mean, every time she opens her mouth, she sounds dumber than George W. Bush. I mean, and obviously, I'm not, and I think that I have a very unfavorable view of George W. Bush living through that time in 2000. So, yeah, so that's a subject for a different day. But I don't know, I don't think a single Democrat's going to pick a house. I mean, win a new house seats. In fact, so Kevin McCarthy will be the new majority leader, and Kevin McCarthy will be the new speaker, and Mitch McConnell will be the majority leader again. And yeah, so you're going to have a divided government. And for the Republican Party, you can party like it's 1994 and 2010. For the Democratic Party, well, you need to start looking at who you're sending to office and who your representatives are, because they're the ones who are leading you to this disaster. Anyway, you guys have a great night and take care.